help people, and pretty much the scariest thing in the world are living people. They're much scarier than dead people. It's kind of a anti-zombie type of thing. It's like, this whole zombie stuff, why are people scared of dead people? They're dead. It's like, it's living people who cause all the trouble. Looking ahead, week of May 20th, so also it may be out right now, volume 29 of Berserk. Also, for those of you who are fans of Adam Warren, who was one of the very first Americans to really make a success drawing the manga style, third printing of his Powered Volume 2 has come out. That's been a very successful series. As you may know, Adam Warren did a licensed adaptation of Dirty Pair and Bubblegum Crisis. The real trick with Adam was everything is fun for him up to and including where he pencils the page. After that, it's not fun anymore, like the inking, the finishing. So all we had to do was convince them that, hey, your pencils are just fine by themselves. So once we did that, he said, hey, I can do 4 pencil pages a day. So he really rips through. Let's see here. Coming out May 27th, MTV Psycho, Volume 9. And thank you to everyone who is supporting that title. On the manhwa front, Volume 7 and also May 27th is The Shaman Warrior, Volume 7.
How many volumes is Shaman Warrior?
I'm not actually sure. Unfortunately, I'm not the editor of that title.
Oh, is this also?
So, you can always feel free to get in touch with follow-up questions, and I can look them up for you. There are many editors at Dark Horse. Most of them work strictly on American comics. A few of them work on American comics and manga. I'm the only person at Dark Horse who only works on manga. But it's funny because the guy who edits MTV Psycho also edits Conan. So I suppose that's somewhat appropriately. He also edits Blade of the Immortal when we got into a whole Manji versus Conan debate. It's rather interesting.
Who won?
It wasn't. It was a little bit more refined. It wasn't like who'd win the fight. It was more like philosophy of life. So, this isn't one of those, Spartans versus Ninja type thing. The whole idea that, Spartans versus Ninja is, Spartans versus Ninja, who would win? I'll tell you who would win. Cut to a shot of all the Spartans lying dead with their throat cut. That's who would win. But, coming out June 3rd, we also have our Domo color-changing mug. I'm sure you've seen some of our Domo merchandise in the stores here. And also on the manly manga front, Gantz Volume 5.
Nice.
And on the not quite so manly manga, right after Gantz, Oh My Goddess Volume 12. So, well, Keiichi is a real man. He's just rather subtle about it.
Bill Dandy has her Gar moments.
Bill Dandy is very Gar. She is pretty, you definitely don't want to mess with her. It's easy to make fun of Oh My Goddess. I'm the 9th editor of the series. It's like, Spinal Tap had all those drummers. And one of the things in the back of Oh My Goddess Colors is I go into length thanking all the previous people who worked on it, because over 15 years, you can imagine that there's been a lot of, letterers, translators, and so forth. Actually, the person who translates Oh My Goddess has been doing it all this time, pretty much. She's the head of the Japan Society of San Francisco, Dana Lewis. She's former editor of Newsweek Japan. So she's pretty high-powered. We have had everyone from college students to again, Newsweek Japan editors edit our stuff. My wallet is not only filled by manga, it's also made of manga, as you may see. This is Asari-chan, which is a manga that a lot of Japanese know, which has never been published here. But anyway, one time I was checking out at Trader Joe's, just in my neighborhood, and the guy at the checkout counter started translating my wallet. So it turned out that he was translating manga doing Guru Guru Ponchan. Is that a Del Rey title?
Yeah.
It's Del Rey. And he asked me, I told him, hey, well, I work for a manga company. So he translated Mail by Hosuya Yamazaki. And that's one example of how you meet translators. Another time I was, I may have mentioned this at the editing manga panel. someone came up at a convention with her like resume and all that, and the person who usually translated one of my titles got sick, and I needed a quick pinch hitter to do the other rest of the volume. And she stepped in, so I sort of took a gamble, but it worked out fine. So that's cool. I was able to give her professional credit. Generally speaking, I prefer to work with people who I'm familiar with, if only because I get very nervous about deadlines and so forth. And you want to be pretty sure that this person's going to meet. So not everyone doesn't always work out, and as editor, your number one responsibility is to get it out on time. So get it out on time with high quality, but it's your job to make sure that you can do that on time. I'm segueing a little. Right. June 24th is Volume 1 of Neon Genesis, the Shinji Ikari Racing Project, Volume 1. And I have a preview of that as well.
I'll be good and only shoot the covers.